What's up guys, Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today we're doing something a little fun. So I've been here, wait, do I have my lol chest open actually? Because I have been on the climb. I have been on the climb trying to qualify for Tactician's Cup #1. I'm probably not done sitting, but I am sitting at like rank 150 right now. I've been on a bit of a tear recently, you know, a few bot 4s in there, but overall I've been doing pretty well. So I thought, you know what, I've had some cool games recently. I'll do a VOD review of one of my own games. It's also like 1 AM here, so like I want to get a video out for today, but like I also don't want to. Ooh, also, you know what? I'm actually gonna open this as a video because if not, the Outplayed is probably going to troll me and like accidentally. Also, can I? Okay, good. And then we'll go to 2x speed. Beautiful. All right. But yeah, so the climbs are going pretty well. Some ups and downs, honestly, but I mean, mostly ups. The games have been going very well. I've been farming a lot of firsts recently, and it's been with a few different things. I will say that we start the game off with a Draven here, and this is probably the line that I'm least comfortable with is Cypher. I've never been a fan of lost streak traits. I just always tend to accidentally cash out. I feel like I do a pretty good job of, you know, like judging my board strength, but I think a lot of other people maybe do it better. I don't know. It's so scary. It's just scary. It's a scary way to play the game. And so we start off here. We see that Ramkev picks up this orb here. So we know it's an HP orb. So do not pick up that HP orb here. And we start off in this spot here where we have a Draven. We have 2 Vys. And I say, you know what, it's actually pretty likely that we can just play Cypher from this spot. The only kind of hesitation is that we did see CN Solus, which I don't know if CN Solus is Solus. I should actually just go see if Solus is like streaming right now. He is streaming. So CN Solus is probably just Solus, right? Yeah, okay, that is Solus. But yeah, we see Solus on his Smurf account, and he has Cypher in as well. He actually has Cypher in at 2-1. He's got 3 Cypher in already, which was kind of horrifying to me. But then I saw that I got a LeBlanc, so now I actually have 3 Cypher as well. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, 3 Cypher, 2-1, we can play it. It is trait augment here, plus 3 gold, but I don't really love any of these that much. I mean, spare parts is, we just didn't really have a spot to play any of those, so I was like, I'm not gonna go for any of those. And I do end up in this weird spot where I'm like, am I gonna take Salvage Bin and play into Cypher? I mean, it can allow you to like slam some items to save some HP and then change stuff. So like I say, you know what? Yeah, let's pick up a salvage bin here in this spot here, sell our entire bench here, and lock our board in. We keep scouting Solus here, and the interesting thing is Solus. Remember this, Solus has 2 melee units. He has a Galio instead of my Draven, I believe. We both have LeBlanc, Vi, and then he has Galio instead of Draven. And so my thought is, I can lock my units in. I can make it so that, you know, they aren't going to walk up with this positioning. I'm good. Like, I am going to outsack Solus here, and you know, we're living the dream. There's nothing that he can do. He also has a slight combat augment in the pumping up, and so I was like, we're chilling here. But Solus actually kind of Giga Smurfs on me here with this positioning. This positioning means if there's not units over here, or even like, you know, units up here within range of these 2 units, my units are going to walk up here. Now, the way that I would counteract this, I think it would have to be like, if I were more diligently scouting here, I think you would have to like frontline your it's so hard, like frontline your ranged units over here. Yeah, that's what it would be. Frontline your ranged units over here and have them aggro onto here. That's the way to beat this positioning. But I was actually trying not to scout because it makes it hard to not pick up the orb when you are scouting. So Solus actually, genius mode here, breaks my ankles on the swap and makes me lose my loss streak here, which feels really bad. We do at least make the 20 gold here, so we get a little bit of something for it, but actually really, really tragic. The only upside to this situation is that now we can actually start fielding real board. We can throw this Rast onto the board here and just try to kill a unit every fight. I also just critiquing my own play here. I should move Draven to the hex above LeBlanc so that he focus fires. We're usually focus firing here. You can see we focus fire down the Poppy here, but there will be some situations where we actually don't end up focus firing. I also get a little bit scared for a second here that I'm going to beat this guy's board because his board is pretty weak, but we get a great 2-unit loss. The name of the game when you are playing Cypher is saving HP. Also, just thinking from the idea of me playing Cypher here, I'm trying to figure out like what I want to actually cash out into. My thought is a Cypher plus Zeri setup. That is the kind of like standard setup, and I do have this Rod here, so my thought is, okay, I'll just take this bow here. It'll bring me close to her Gwynsu. The only downside is it's not a Draven item, which is, you know, a little bit awkward, but it's fine at the end of the day. My Exotech items there, the 3 Exo is the only one that matters, and it's Hyper Fangs, which is like mediocre. It's pretty bad. It's not horrible. It's not one of like the really bad ones, but you can actually see, I'll team planner it in a second, the board that or did I actually already click into the team planner? No, let me go back here. Did I already? Am I just a team plannering beast? I could be actually. No, I don't think I'd team planner it that quickly. Okay, yeah. I mean, I have a team planner made out for this setup, so we'll see once we get there. But once again, another great fight where we end up actually picking up a kill or two. Yeah, we pick up 2 kills here, so another 2-unit loss versus Ramkev here. And the other reason why I was kind of like, wait, did I accidentally? Okay, the other thing is I bought this Morgana here and didn't sell. Oh my god. I'm like, I need to sleep. I realized after I played this last game, I was like, I need to go to bed. Like I am too tired to be playing these. I can't believe I actually just lost. I didn't even realize that when I was playing. I was the opposite of locked in. I usually don't stay up too late. So I stayed up kind of late yesterday, so at least I'm there. But this is actually the fight where you see, look, Draven aggroed onto Poppy and then LeBlanc aggroed onto Shiv. We don't focus fire there. That's where Draven being above LeBlanc would be good. Now we end up getting the 1 kill anyway, so not the end of the world. But yeah, something to think about. I keep scouting Solus here because I'm just trying to figure out like what Solus wants to cash out into, because I am kind of afraid that he is going to cash out into a Draven style comp as well and then kind of contest me. Here's the board actually. This is kind of like the standard cash out board that's very, very easy to play and very straightforward. You can keep your Cypher in to get those extra stats and, you know, keep units if you end up getting like multiple Ravens or something like that, but then you get to fit in the Zeri, Sedge, Jax, and then Renekton fits in beautifully for Bastion and a very, you know, solid potential other carry if you have extra items. I slammed the Gwynsu here because I'm like, I'm kind of afraid that I'm going to lose to minions, and I'm really happy that I did. Honestly, I could have just leveled for the Draven, but I thought, this board easily clears, and it actually gets pretty close here. The LeBlanc ends up clearing it. We were not too, like, it wasn't that far, but we were... that fight was suspiciously close, I will say. We actually did almost lose to Krugs there, but hey, you know, a close fight's always good. So yeah, but okay, this is where the game starts to get a little bit awkward because Solus is still, you know, playing his setup. Solus is still playing around Cypher as well, and I want to not beat Solus. I mean, I really don't want to win against Solus here. So I'm stemming items versus this player, but acknowledging that like when I fight Solus, things are gonna get bad. I do actually high roll the fact that Solus wins this fight here. He actually just messes up the fight prediction a little bit. So he ends up winning and losing his loss streak, which makes him less incentivized to like play for a loss streak. He cares more about playing for HP at this point. All right. Augment here, we have the split augment. I'm actually really attracted to the right option here, Cyber Bulk plus Mana Flow. We're gonna probably cash out into items, and we already have the extra items from Salvage Bin, so Cyber Bulk is really nice. And then Mana Flow, it's a little, like it's a tad bit awkward just because like Zeri Mana Flow, I mean, I don't think it's even necessarily that bad on Zeri. She's gonna like summon more clones, Draven's gonna cast faster. So I say, you know what, I think this is good enough. A movable object is like fine as well, I guess, but I would rather just take the double combat here and have like a super high cap board later. So pick up the Mana Flow Cyber Bulk here and yeah, say like, you know what, this will work. This is pretty good. But yeah, now I'm at this point here where like my board's pretty weak. I think Solus, yeah, he levels to 6 here. He picks up a LeBlanc too, and I'm like, okay, my current board will lose to Solus, I'm pretty sure. But if I add more stuff, I think I'm actually gonna beat him. You see, I even remover the double Gwynsu here for kind of like preparing for me potentially fighting Solus here and just saying like, okay, if I fight him, I need to have the double Gwynsu on bench just to guarantee that I lose. And you can see it actually puts me in a bad spot here when I fight people like this guy who, you know, just has a fully upgraded board. Well, actually his board wasn't that upgraded, but I mean, really, it's just Gwynsu Draven with no traits in is not killing a lot of stuff, which is to be is understandable, I guess. But yeah, I'm still just really stressing about fighting Solus. I don't fight Solus again here, so I rotate into this guy. I'm like, okay, I'll slam the sword here, give Draven some AD to work with, just because Gwynsu Draven's really not doing much, but maybe if we give him a little AD, he can kill something, and he does at least kill 1 unit there. So we had a great stage 2 as far as killing units. Stage 3 is actually pretty bad. The upside, though, is we still have the HP orb, right? We have the HP orb. Item off carousel here. I just want to pick up the IE here just to make sure that I have a Draven item here. I'm going to go Gwynsu, Hyperfang, Zeri, and then IE plus items onto Draven is my idea. So that's the reasoning behind picking up the glove there. I will say, like, I was at this point getting kind of lost in the sauce in my itemization. I was kind of like, you know, there's so many units you can carry in this setup, right? You can carry the Zeri, you can carry the Draven, you can carry the the guy who slashes you, Zed. And then you can also, make tank items. You can make tank items for Galio if you end up getting to like Galio 3. You can make tank items for Sejuani. So there's just so much to do. In any case, we finally fight Solus here. I'm happy that we finally get this fight out of the way. We kill a few units, but I'm like, I should definitely lose this fight. And I do. Honestly, I could have even done a little bit more. I could have slammed the IE here and killed an extra unit, maybe two. But I was too afraid. Solus's board is pretty bad still, so I was too afraid of accidentally swinging the fight. So I say, okay, you know what, we beat Solus, now we can level, we can get up the 4 Vanguard into our board, and also just throw this random Vex in. I would love a Rapid Fire, but we just don't have it, and yeah, we're 40 HP. We want to keep our loss streak here. I realize that 40 HP and really 50 HP with the fact that I have the orb here is basically guaranteed to allow me to make it to 4-3 to cash out, which can play for a pretty big cash out. So I'm like, okay, I just, my goal here is to kill as many units in the next few fights as possible while still losing. I actually get a great 4-unit loss here versus this player who just has a pretty not beefy front line. And yeah, I get potential cash out there, Radiant Item, Double Reforger, but I'm like, I mean, it's fine. It's actually a pretty good cash out and I could take it, but I would rather just, play for the big cash out, hopefully getting to like 400 stacks, those bigger cash outs, because I mean, they tend to be better when you get more stacks. All right, we pick up Draven 2 here from the orbs. We get all of these items actually really troll me because I'm like, what am I doing with these items? Like, I get all these tier items, and I have like, I get super lost here, especially with the fact that we have Salvage Bin here. I end up saying, you know what, I'll just make an Adaptive Helm and a Vow here, hold on to the Rod for potential Morello down the line, and then hold on to the Cloak for, like, I don't know, BT, Renan, something like that. And I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty decent. Only downside is I would have to spend a remover to get these items over to Braum, and I just say, you know what, I'm going to greed the remover, and I take a big loss against, I think that was a Ramkev for it. Overheal here I really like with all the extra Gwynsu, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just take Overheal here. And I'm like, also, you know what, I can level here and roll a bit to try to improve the board. I can also get more Cypher in, which will allow me to get a bigger cash out, because I was still stuck on 3 Cypher the entire game. Never got 4 Cypher in, which was pretty sad. And so I hit at least a little bit on this board. I find the Zed, find the Sejuani as well, and I'm like, okay, this is my last fight. Hopefully I get a good loss here. Even, I mean, I want a good loss here so that I can get to the next breakpoint, because 370 we're guaranteed, but there is, I think the next one is like 430 or something like that, and I'm trying to get to that one. There's one after that, which is 450, which you can see tragically I end up 4 stacks off of the 451, which is so sad. But I get my cash out here, and let's bring it down to 1 XP, because this is where things start getting a little bit crazy. I get Fishbones as my cash out here, and honestly, I just want to let's bring up tactics.tools here, because I was kind of super lost when I got the Fishbones cash out here. So just Fishbones, if you're looking as far as like units you want to put Fishbones onto, the statistics do like Fishbones on Renekton, who's a unit that I kind of want to play for. They do like Fishbones onto Draven. I know some people would probably say Fishbone Zed, but the stats hate Fishbone Zed here. I'll zoom in for the people who are, I don't know, watching on their phones or something. Plus 0.55 delta, average is a 5. So just something to think about. It's probably partially due to people getting cash outs, but obviously I have to take this cash out, pick up Zeri, and I'm like, I need to send it. I need to roll down here, pick up all my stuff here, find a Zed here. I need to find Zed2, need to find my other units 2-starred. I need to stop doing this and just pick up units that like don't matter in the roll down and things like this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sell the Vise to make my life easier. There's another Draven. There's Zed2, which helps a lot here. Actually, we get the Jax in on this board, and the only thing that we're actually currently missing is a last Bastion here over LeBlanc. So I'm stuck playing 4 Cypher this round. Move the items at the last. I mean, honestly, this is a decent roll down. We can get the Gwynsu's over to Zeri. Now I just have to slam everything, which is so hard to get a Fishbones onto Zed here, put a Fishbones onto Draven, because I feel like double Fishbone Zed is just gonna be overkill, move the Hyperfangs here, and I'm like, okay, I need to slam the rest of these items here. I'm gonna make Morello to guarantee that heal cut here. All my tanks are dead here, and I was so afraid that I was gonna lose this fight, but actually hitting the Zed2 I think saved me here, so I do end up winning this fight, fighting a relatively weak board, and we preserve our life. I was so afraid that I was gonna die here, because I was like, oh my god, I screwed it up. And then a glimmering beacon of hope here. We see Renekton on Carousel, and it all comes together here. It all comes together. Renekton fits 4 Bastion onto this board for a second. I'm like, how do I fit 4 Bastion? Then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still playing a LeBlanc on this board. So Renekton allows me to play 4 Bastion. It allows me to do something with this Fishbones. I also realize, I'm like, I really would like to like actually get rid of a lot of these tiers. I want to go for more Renekton items here. So this is probably like definitely a mistake, by the way. I think actually this is pretty reasonable. Actually, I think this is pretty reasonable. We don't need the Rod whatsoever. We don't need the tier very much here. We reforge into Renans actually, where I'm like, wait, Renekton? Renans? double fishbones Renekton with the Renons, and then I can move the rest of the items over to Draven. I can then finish tank items onto this guy. So I make Declaw, I make Vow here. The only downside to these slams is that I realize I have no armor shred, and I'm like, I'd really like to get to some armor shred here, but I don't have it at the current moment, which is kind of rough here. But if you saw that fight, if not, we'll have many more fights where we can watch this Renekton. This Renekton's kind of a beast. I roll down here because I realize I'm Sedge pair here. Sedge is pretty uncontested. There's like one or two people. There's like one person holding Sedge here, and I realized like, okay, my odds of actually picking up Sedge is really high, and I'm kind of afraid of dying. I throw the rod here down onto the gallery here, but look at this Renekton just going. He's actually just popping off here. I have no clue what this is here, by the way. I know Fishbones actually seems pretty good onto the Renekton, just having him sit in the back line with basically like that augment that they took out of the game that gives you +2 range, but I actually have no clue. Like, you're probably supposed to go something like Deathblade, or I don't even know. Like, is IE good in a circumstance like this? Like I said, I was kind of giga lost this game, but okay. We get this here. I'm like, okay, we need some form of heal cut. Or armor shred. I mean, we do end up actually getting that in the even shroud here. So I'm like, okay, we can take the even shroud here, and then I'll just take sword, and we can go for I was thinking actually a Zed item, but then we hit the Draven. I'm like, okay, well, let's move these items over to Draven. Let's make the even shroud. I was thinking about finishing my Zed items off, but after a second, I'm like, wait a minute, you know what I should do? I should just move Gunblade over to this Draven. My plan this game changed like 10 different times as far as like itemization and what I wanted to do. And I'm also like, you know what? The Renekton can bite the Draven. The Draven has overheal value, so he's actually gonna heal back up. He's got bulk, so he's pretty tanky as well. So I can actually have the Renekton bite the Draven 3, bite a ton of that AD. I was gonna move the rod down to the Draven here, and then I realized, you know what, I can actually reforge for better items. So I just reforge a few times. I'm like, Deathblade would be good, GS would be good. There's actually just like a lot of items that you can build in that situation. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just reforge until I get some. Oh, Shojin is like probably fine. So I'm like, you know what, let's just go for this. And we have the overheal, like I said, to heal up the Draven. So it's not like he's probably gonna get sniped, though. Further in this game, it becomes a little bit scary that we can talk about what ends up happening in this game, because I mean, you'll see in a second, I'm going to start scouting Solus here, and Solus actually, he played this into Executioners. It's crazy, but yeah, he played it into like a full Executioners board. I don't know what his cash out was. I'm kind of curious to go back to his board and like see what happened, but I realized, you know what? There's a Rengar in my pool. I'm actually kind of afraid. I end up swapping back and saying, you know what? It's probably fine with the overheal. We also fight this TF reroll board, which is really, really solid. But I mean, the Sejuani with the bulk actually just ends up so tanky. I feel like she casts like 2 times with the 4 Bastion as well. She casts like 2 times basically every fight, which is, it's so good. I see Renekton on Carousel, and I also realize I can break this Nashor's Tooth down into a Titans, which is not Zed's best item, but it's an item that you can put onto him. So I say, you know what, I can actually make Titans onto Zed here. I think about double spreading bulk value, and I almost do it actually, but then I say, you know what, I'm just going to make Titans onto Zed. He'll do some work. But I think it's this fight where I'm like, you know what, I'm actually really afraid of Draven getting jumped on by Rengar if I allow him to get bitten by Rengar. So I'm gonna swap. Actually, no, I think, okay, I wait one more fight. I wonder what would have happened if I had fought Solus here, because I think it is possible that I could have lost to Solus. I think this is the fight that scared me, where I saw Draven got really low, and I was like, well, Solus has way more backline access than this guy, so I probably need to stop biting the Draven. And also, like, without any kind of heal item, without, like, maybe with Gunblade I could go for the bite, probably, but yeah, I don't think I can do it in this situation. Also, I kind of realized, like, wait, Draven in the middle is not even bad, because it means I'm going to immediately apply Morello onto this Rengar, which is nice. I try to kind of like juke people out with swaps, but okay. We finally fight Solus here. I'm really afraid that I'm actually still going to lose this fight, especially when like the Rengar jumps onto my Zeri, does an insane amount of work, and then kills my Draven. I'm like, I'm dead here. But then look, the Renekton, the hero, and the Zed combined actually end up farming Solus, and we win the fight. Like, cinema, like absolute cinema. I thought for sure that I was just gonna lose that fight and actually die there, and I was gonna be so, like, it was gonna be like a 6 or something, and I was gonna be like, oh my god. So, but I win the fight, and now I'm really confident. I'm like, okay, I can make it to level 9 here. I can get a big spike if I find like Renekton 2, then the game is basically over here. Item wise, at this anvil, I'm like, I can go for Zed item. I also scout the lobby, and I'm like, I'm really afraid I'm just gonna level here, which in hindsight, I don't think I really needed to do. I got scared because there's like an 8 techie board. There's a lot of good boards out here, and so I was kind of afraid that I was just going to lose after all of this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna level to 9. Maybe I can find you to play. End up playing random play. I played nothing, so I should have just sacked one round. Like leveling didn't make me any stronger. Gave me a chance to find Renekton, but like my odds of finding Renekton have actually gone down because I just wasted a bunch of gold. So this is actually like definitely a mistake here. Also, I could have thrown the Vex in. I don't know why I missed the Vex. I mean another. So yeah, I end up actually doing this, and I play double Jax, and then I'm like, okay, wait, I can actually sell a Jax and feel double Sejuani here, and I'm like, okay, this is not bad. Though I should have moved the belt over to the Sejuani, because look, second Sejuani just barely doesn't cast here, which is so tragic. And this is the guy I was really afraid of. 8 techie, they have a Koboko too, and then I mean, in hindsight, I clear them. So in reality, it was always fine. I really just needed to get to Renekton too. And I do find it here, which is just, oh, it's just, it feels so good here. We managed to get Zach in here, who I'm like, you know what? Zach actually is a lot of CC if he can get a cast off, and this belt will hopefully help him cast. So I'm like, you know what? Random Zach on the board I think will be pretty good. Just trying to chase this guy's backline down with the Sejuani here, and I do actually manage to get into the right spot, which is really good. It means I get to the stun on the Misfortune, which is huge. I mean, look at this Renekton go off. This fight's like a little bit scary for a sec, but the Renekton is just boom, 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 killing everything with the double RFC. It's just beautiful, and that's another cutscene here. And so the last person I really need to be afraid of is Solus. I'm gonna take Hodge off Carousel here to throw onto my Zed, which is, you know, pretty good. But yeah, I mean, Solus's board is not weak, and I don't know if you guys have, I'm sure you guys have played against this board. This board sometimes does just win random fights for absolute free in a disgusting way. I rolled down here and kind of realized, like, you know what, Gragas is probably better than just random Zac that's not even going to cast here. So decide to throw my Gragas in as the +1 here, and I say, okay, who am I going to fight here? I fight the TF board, and I'm pretty confident against the TF board, especially because I do keep my Sejuani on the left side here. They don't move, so I get a really good Sedge stun off here and then snipe a backline. And so I'm like, okay, this is good. And then who's fighting Solus? My clone is fighting Solus here, and so we get the double kill, and it is a dub on this crazy setup. I mean, I don't know. It was a really fun game, and I don't know, really stressful, but I mean, the dub at the end was absolutely worth it. Yes. Okay. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, my Metafy. If you want to know how to average a 27% win rate and a 3.67 in your first 84 games of the set, then, you know, subscribe to my Metafy or just get a session on my Metafy down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.